Hello, 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 and happy birthday to all of my amazing Leos. Happy birthday to each and every one of you all. Leos, let me know which books you all want to drop some ideas below so I can do some giveaways. Somebody did ask, am I doing giveaways for my Leos? Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I do giveaways for every zodiac sign. I just try to be creative and do special ones. So some people get calls from me, some people get gifts, whatever, physical, whatever. Drop some book ideas below. It's a lot of wonderful books. And so if you have some ideas for books, and I read every kind of book there is, I do have a lot of books. So, but let's share that love with other people. So you may be a person who wins a book. Somebody else may be, winner of a book of something that you shared, title of a book or whatever. If you've written a book, whatever, drop it below. Drop the information below. The book title, not information, but drop the book title below. All right, let's get into it, Leos. Again, happy birthday to each and every one of you all. Venus is in Leo. Venus is retrograde in Leo. Also, Pluto is retrograde. Neptune is retrograde. Saturn is also retrograde. All of this retrograding going on. Let's see what the cards have to say. All right, so here we have the King of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, the Devil card, and also the Queen of Cups. All righty. All right, so here we have the King of Swords. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We also have the Five of Cups. We also have the Five of Pentacles. We also have the Queen of Cups, and we also have the Devil card, right? So some kind of unhealthy being chained to your own demons, right? So Source really wants you to deal with whatever your shadow self is. Like, what is it that, like, if you feel like people are hanging on to you for what they can get from you, Source is saying, look at it from this point of view. You don't have any competition in the world. Everybody has access to creating the same, whatever life they want for themselves. So Source is saying you've worked hard to get to where you are. So now it's time to unchain from whatever your demons are, whatever is, or recognize what they are and learn how to put them under submission. So for instance, if you feel like people are staying connected to you for what they can get from you, then for you, it should be, okay, let me detach from them and I wish them the best so I can open up my vault door. Because see how close this person is to their vault door? But they kind of have their head down, like feel left out in the cold. And so Source is saying you've been already putting in that energy work, and you may feel left out in the cold at work, or you may feel like, things that I've been putting in all of this work and things are not happening for me in the way I want them to happen. So Source says put a manhole cover over the past. Put a manhole cover over in the past. Because if you're sitting around and ruminating over something from the past and it's dragging you down to a lower emotion, like, like for instance, if some people have been in really bad romantic relationships in the past where people have used you, they've used your name, they've used your, they ride in your coattails, you put in all of this work, you made a name for yourself and they're using you. It doesn't take away from all the hard work that you put in. So you are still you. Source is saying have compassion for yourself and also have compassion for other people. But it's time to snip, cut the cords. If you really feel like people are using you, it's time to detach. It's time to detach. It's not the time to deal with whatever your demons are. Deal with whatever your demons are. If you feel like, okay, well, I need people, whatever your demons are, just deal with those. Deal with those. Pluto is retrograde right now, and Pluto can take everybody on an emotional roller coaster. One day you can be crying, next day you can be laughing, fancy, foot loose and fancy free the next day. But Source is saying to you, you're a very smart person. You are a very wise person. And if you feel like people have been using you to get what they can get from you, they really played themselves because of what you bring to a table. You're a very compassionate person. You're a very wise and very smart person. So Source is saying, just get your rest. Stay laser focused on your, stay laser focused on your purpose. But Source wants you to start resting and start really thinking about, putting any demons you have under, will identify them and then putting them under submission, and the universe is in your favor. So you're fully supported by God and the universe, and your ancestors. Actually, they're the ones that saying stay laser focused in your purpose. Stay laser focused on your purpose. And the Eight of Cups right here, this is somebody's creativity is going to make them a lot of money if they can just stay focused. So you could have Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio somewhere in your chart, or you can have water heavy in your chart. But sources like that creativity is going to make you very, very wealthy. But it also attracts everything. And that's why you don't want to put a whole lot of energy into who's staying connected to you for what they can get from you. That it really is a waste of energy, because once you know, then you need to swing into action and say, okay, I need to go ahead and release these energies. Not what can I get from these energy, because a lot of people have gifts and talents they haven't even tapped into. So putting a whole lot of energy into who is staying connected to me for what they can get from me, that's just, once you know, if you really feel that strongly about it to a point that's distracting and you can't even focus on your own gifts and talents, they have to go anyway, because they're competing with your purpose. So source is saying, sit on your throne, carefully vet all the information that's coming through the air, because this is air energy, connected to the heart chakra. Recognize that the heart is tricky. If they're causing you more pain in your life and more distractions in your life, you got to weigh the pros and cons, right? Have you had, I mean, it's so many. Here we have the Six of Cups. Sources said, release some energies and have faith and move on. Here we have the Two of Wands. And so I do see somebody taking some trips. And I do see you near large bodies of water, or a large body of water. It could be bodies, because you'd be taking several trips. But congratulations for traveling, going somewhere, recharging, resetting. But when I look at your cards here, Leo, I don't see people actually using you. What I see is the shadow self. You may have been used in the past, or you may have felt used in the past, but it was for the purpose of God saying, I want you to learn lessons about people from the past. Because I think we all know those people who run around using people and they're not doing anything with their lives. They like to be connected with a name or a brand or whatever the case may be. But without those things, they feel like, okay, they don't have purpose. They don't know what their purpose is. It looks like this is your divine masculine to your divine feminine chained to a devil. Somebody is chained to fear, doubt, uncertainty, insecurities, addictions. Somebody's chained to something. And so source is saying to you, honestly, if you really feel like they're using you, it's time to release them. Because for you to try to get an answer from them, see this right here? I knew it. Somebody has dealt with so much hurt in your past that you really feel like, I can't trust anybody. I feel like, people have ulterior motives. And they may have ulterior motives, but guess what? It's always exposed. It's always exposed. I see your money growing as well. I see you planting seeds in this first quarter moon phase. We're moving to a moon phase in Scorpio. So right now, we're in depending on what time it is when you watch the video, we are we're feeling the effects of the moon in Libra. And Libra is a peaceful warrior sign. So if anything, you're fighting for your peace of mind. So if you really feel like people are staying connected to you for what they can get from you, and you don't feel like it's an even exchange of anything, or you feel like, okay, well, however you feel, and it's causing some kind of emotional wounding, source is saying, get your rest, make a decision to go ahead and release or detach from energies and move on, instead of sitting around and ruminating over it. Because it'll be exposed. If it hasn't already been exposed, it'll be exposed eventually. Yeah, here we have the Queen of Swords. And we also have the King of Cups. And we also have the Ace of Cups. So there's a lot of water here. So somebody could definitely, because you've been manipulated so many times in the past, and that's not even something that you want to keep telling people, that people keep playing me, they keep manipulating me. You never want to stay in victim mode, because you're really making yourself prime for a narcissist. when you stay in that victim mode, I'm always giving and people keep taking advantage of me. If you're telling that to a narcissist, they sitting there listening so intently. They listening to everything you're saying. Wow, really? People keep taking advantage of you? Well, what did you do for your ex? Well, I co-signed on this and I let them live with me and I let them, and that narcissist is sitting there rubbing their hands together like this. Really? You let them do all of that? Wow, okay. So they'll sit there and listen to you vent to them. So the sooner you start to release people and see what they have to offer to your universe, you may find a person who is a superstar in their own right, or you may find somebody who is somebody who really adds value, to your life. Everybody adds value to people's life, but some people who haven't found their light, they seem like they're just kind of sort of hanging around following you, for what they can get from you. And notice that this person is literally walking right past their vault door. And again, this is tied to this right here. So if you feel like somebody has used you or using you, time to release them, time to let them go. Time to let them go, and the universe fully supports it, So you can get to that vault door and you can start seeing your money growing. What some people don't believe is that God will have you walking past that vault door until you release some people. Yep, here we have somebody is at a crossroad, and so source is saying keep that fire under wraps. Stay strong, stay laser focused. You're going to need that fire for your purpose. Here we have the Ace of Swords. I see a breakthrough happening for you. And here we have the Five of Pentacles. A lot of people from your past have talked trash about you. And so source is saying to you, leave all of that in the past, because somebody will keep repeating the same cycles. If you feel like everybody is the same and everybody's out for what they can get from you, then it's time for you to sit down and start seriously, carefully vetting people. What do people need the most? And if I say no to them, is they going to keep them in my life? Whatever. Well, I'm not going to try to plant any seeds. But source is saying to you, have compassion for whatever you're leaving behind and move on from something. Queen of Cups came out twice. Just have compassion for something and move on. But compassion for yourself first and foremost. Ace of Cups, learn how to protect your heart. Learn how to protect your emotions. Learn how to protect your emotions, because it's key. Somebody's overthinking something, like overthinking somebody's playing me or manipulating me or using me for something. And source is like, learn the lesson. Learn how to ask questions. Learn how to carefully vet people. Learn how to carefully vet people so that you don't come across as a hothead and go off and lose it. 0. I am limitless. This right here, this number 0. Anytime you add the number 0 behind anything, it expands the value of that number. So source is saying to you, this is why I'm not surprised the number 0 came out. This is why source is saying to you, all of the times that this has happened to you and you are still standing, what lessons did you learn about yourself? The people who have talked about you, betrayed you, lied on you, lied to you, was the black sheep, all of this. What lessons did you learn about yourself? Because you cannot possibly go through life thinking everybody is a hater. And I know that's not what you're thinking, that, oh, everybody hates me. But there's been some people that need to be cut out. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So that you can get out here and meet some good people who add value to your life as well. There is no beginning and no end. All is infinite. It is time to develop your spiritual side, as well as gaining a new sight and understanding of both godly and earthly things. Somebody got to tap into that intuition. Start paying attention to your intuition. Because every single person that stood around and watched people talk negatively about you or hurt you or used a dagger or a sword to hurt you in any way, all of them need to be cut off. And I don't care who they are. They all need to be cut off. Family members, whomever, cut off. Cut off. Because otherwise you're going to go through life, even though you're still standing, you feel like, okay, I got to roll my eyes at everybody and here we have take time to breathe out. Source wants you to start the breathing process. Take some deep breaths and really sit down and think about it. All of that sounds good when people are going to say, oh, I'm proud of so-and-so. They've done this. They've accomplished all these things because you put in the hard work, but they can put in some hard work for their purpose as well. And then as soon as they can't control you, they talk negatively about you, and you can literally think everybody feels the same way. They in your life because they can use you. So watch a movie. This card came out again, number 9. Oh, 54. 5 plus 4 is 9. So source is saying you're transforming to your higher self when you start to identify whatever your demons are and learn how to put those demons under submission, because God sent somebody across your path who is really the real deal. They really come from wealth. They come from wealth. But see, true wealth doesn't have to be flashy. Not at all. Somebody really comes from wealth themselves, and you can do a background check and you're not gonna find it, because they know just how to hide it. They know how to just kind of lay low with it. And that's not what you want to mess up, because you really think everybody's, attaching themselves to you to get what they can get from you. You'll mess up a really good relationship with somebody who doesn't want you for how hard you work. They genuinely do love you. So be careful. Be very careful. There's some of your, and I'm not just talking about romantically. We're talking about just some friends too. People who have their own stuff. They're walking around with there are some brands who look like they're used, but they're very, very expensive, very comfortable brands that they look like they're worn. I don't want to throw out any brand names, but some of the brand names look like they're worn, but they're very, very expensive and well crafted. And so if you have not been around certain types of energies that they're not flashy necessarily in their, it would take somebody else to say, oh, those are such and such, or that's such and such, because they're familiar with a particular brand. Again, source is saying there's all kinds of signs around you. But if your thought is this right here, everybody ends up using me and stabbing me in the back and talking negatively about me, you don't want to ruin what's in front of you. So here we have instincts are the message from the inner divine. Instincts. Let's pull your number. Because this right here will burn up opportunities. It will burn it all down. So you thinking, okay, this is what I'm saying right here. You thinking that, okay, some people are just hanging on to me for what they can get from me. And your feelings are valid because you have been around people like that. So that's why you don't want to dismiss your feelings. But I'm telling you, you could be in the presence of people who are not trying to use you. And this right here, see this fire right here? Letting that instinct, that animal instinct come, it can burn down everything that's in that vault, in your own vault, and take you back to zero. So somebody has to calm down and really deal with their inner demons, whatever they are. And everybody has demons. Everybody has them. Let's get your number. Oh, let's get your affirmation card and let's close it out. Affirmation card and let's close it out. So now would be a good time, if you can, to plan a trip to go somewhere. If you have a local beach where you live, just kind of sort of, disciplining yourself and going out there and talking to God. Affirmations for prosperity, talking to God within, right? I am determined to win, and that winning is peace. Winning at being a peaceful person. That's what you're winning at. I am diligent. I am defeating the odds. I am warrior strong. Remember, Libra is a peaceful warrior sign. I summon my highest self to take control today. I invest my time wisely. I am persistent. So somebody is persistently battling their own. Somebody is saying, I'm going to learn what my demons are, and I'm going to put those demons under submission. I'm going to put those demons under submission. So that is what I have for you, Leos. Again, happy midweek Wednesday. If you're watching the video on the 25th, happy 777. We already talked about the portal before. What else? First quarter moon phase moving into Scorpio. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. So this is an opportunity to get that emotional roller coaster under control. Pluto and Mars. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto and Mars. Mars is the energy planet. So whenever you see Mars, Mars is that whenever she's, excuse me, the Tower card, that's Mars. And so put all your energy towards your purpose. You've already worked really, really hard. And again, I cannot stress this enough. If you really believe that there are energies that are hanging on to you for what they can get from you, then you need to release them. You need to release them. So it doesn't matter who it is, but not everybody is hanging on for what they can get from you. But Pluto is that planet of power and transformation. So Source wants you to start the process of, and it's a generational planet. And that's why we talked about demons. Like, it's a generational planet. So Neptune and Pluto are generational planets. Source is saying deal with whatever childhood, ancestral and family traumas, you know, that you have to deal with. And recognize that you're this close to opening up your own vault. So this person could be a family member. So it can be anybody, but that's what Source wants you to do. That's what I have for you, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye.